Bishop Wooden just snapped in a way nobody saw coming. And it wasn't just a sermon. Imagine a respected church leader calling someone out in public saying, "You don't even attend church." The backlash was instant, and the video has gone viral overnight. But what really happened behind the scenes? Today we're diving deep into the controversy, the reactions, and the shocking details that social media isn't telling you. Stay tuned. You won't believe what unfolds next. In today's video, we're breaking down one of the most talked about moments in the church community this year, Bishop Wooden's shocking confrontation that left everyone stunned. Was it a moment of truth, a lapse in judgment, or something even deeper? Over the next 20 minutes, we'll explore the full story, from what led up to his explosive words to the reactions that erupted online, and the implications for both the church and the wider public. We'll uncover the facts, piece together eyewitness accounts, and analyze social media reactions that have turned this incident into a trending sensation. By the end of this video, you'll know not just what happened, but why it matters, and why some say this could change everything for Bishop Wooden and his congregation. So, buckle up, because what seems like a simple outburst is actually part of a much bigger story. The incident began during what was supposed to be a routine Sunday service. Bishop Wooden, known for his charismatic preaching style and firm leadership, was addressing the congregation when his tone suddenly shifted. Eyewitnesses report that what started as a regular sermon quickly turned into a direct confrontation. It all started when a member of the congregation, who had been absent for several months, was called out by name. Bishop Wooden, looking directly at them, reportedly said, "You don't even attend church, yet you sit here as if nothing has changed." The words were sharp, and the delivery even sharper. Some say it was a moment of honesty, others saw it as a public shaming. What made this moment go viral wasn't just the words themselves, it was the raw emotion behind them. People online began dissecting his tone, his facial expressions, and even his body language. Many were shocked that a bishop would call someone out so openly, while others praised him for speaking the truth. Within hours, clips of the incident were being shared across Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, sparking debates that crossed beyond the church community. But the story doesn't end there. While social media reacted strongly, insiders from the church hint at a deeper tension that had been brewing for months, something that might explain why Bishop Wooden snapped in the first place. What could have pushed him to this breaking point? That's what we'll uncover in the next section, and the answer might surprise you. To fully understand why Bishop Wooden snapped, we need to go back months, maybe even years, before that fateful Sunday. While he has always been seen as a pillar of his church, sources close to the congregation say tensions had been quietly building. Reports suggest that several members had expressed concerns about attendance and commitment. Some congregants reportedly felt that a handful of people were taking advantage of the community without genuinely participating in church life. Bishop Wooden, known for his dedication to spiritual integrity, reportedly struggled privately with how to address the situation. For someone who preaches accountability and discipline, seeing individuals remain disconnected yet still part of the church family was a constant source of frustration. Insiders reveal that there were multiple attempts to reach out privately. Letters, phone calls, even personal visits were made to encourage participation and engagement. But according to sources, these efforts often went ignored. The individual Bishop Wooden called out had allegedly been absent for months, missing not just services but also volunteer events and other church activities that are considered central to the congregation's mission. What's even more shocking is that this wasn't the first time Bishop Wooden had addressed attendance issues publicly, though previous remarks were more subtle. People who know him well say that he usually handles these matters with grace, avoiding confrontation. But this time, something snapped. Many speculate that it wasn't just frustration with one individual, it was a culmination of stress, responsibility, and the weight of leading a large congregation. Social media experts have noted that moments like this tend to go viral because they show a human side to leaders that most people never see. In Bishop Wooden's case, viewers were not just witnessing a sermon, they were witnessing raw emotion and vulnerability from someone in a position of authority. And as the clips spread online, the debate grew even more intense. Some argued that he overstepped, while others believed this was exactly the kind of honesty that the church needed. But here's the twist. Behind the publicized confrontation, there may be an even deeper story. Sources inside the church suggest that this incident is tied to larger internal conflicts, including disagreements over leadership decisions, finances, and church policies. Could Bishop Wooden's outburst be the tip of an iceberg that's far bigger than anyone realized? In the next section, we'll uncover the internal church dynamics that may have led to this explosive moment, and the details are more shocking than you might expect. Once the video of Bishop Wooden's confrontation hit social media, it didn't take long for the story to explode. Within hours, clips were being shared across Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, each version sparking thousands of comments. Hashtags like Bishop Wooden snaps and church drama began trending, drawing attention from audiences far beyond the local congregation. People online were divided. One group praised Bishop Wooden for his boldness, saying it was a refreshing display of accountability. They argued that sometimes spiritual leaders need to be direct, even confrontational, to hold their congregants to high standards. Comments flooded in like, "Finally, someone speaks the truth," and "This is exactly the kind of honesty we need in our churches." On the other hand, critics accused him of public shaming, claiming that calling someone out by name in front of the entire congregation was unnecessarily harsh. Many suggested that such an approach could damage trust and discourage participation, especially for those already struggling to engage with the church. Memes and reaction videos quickly emerged, adding a layer of humor, sarcasm, and criticism that fueled the viral spread. But the real story goes deeper. Social media analysts note that Bishop Wooden's outburst came at a time when online scrutiny of religious leaders is at an all-time high. Every sermon, tweet, or public appearance is now subject to instant commentary, often magnifying minor disputes into full-blown controversies. In this case, a single moment, a few words spoken during a sermon, became a symbol of larger tensions that many people relate to: accountability, integrity, and leadership under pressure. The impact wasn't limited to social media. Local news outlets and faith-based publications picked up the story, interviewing both supporters and critics. Some reports highlighted the emotional toll on both the individual called out and the bishop himself. Sources inside the church confirmed that Bishop Wooden received calls of support from leaders across the country, but also faced private messages questioning his methods. And here's where things get even more complicated. Behind the scenes, some members of the congregation reportedly felt blindsided by the public nature of the call-out. Meetings were held, discussions were heated, and several members began questioning not just the approach, but the leadership dynamics within the church. Could this viral moment spark a shift in how the church is run? Or will it fade as just another online controversy? Social media, however, had already decided its verdict. Every new comment, share, or reaction added fuel to the fire, creating a feedback loop that intensified the scrutiny. And yet, even with all the attention, there were whispers. Sources close to the bishop hinting that this viral moment might have been just the beginning. Some insiders suggest there are more undisclosed tensions, potentially bigger controversies lurking behind the scenes. What could they be, and why hasn't the public heard about them yet? That's exactly what we'll explore in the next section. To truly understand the significance of Bishop Wooden's outburst, we need to examine what's been happening behind closed doors, inside the church itself. While the public saw only a brief moment of confrontation, insiders reveal that months of tension had been quietly building. According to multiple sources within the congregation, disagreements over leadership decisions, financial management, and church policies had created an undercurrent of unrest. Some senior members reportedly felt that certain voices in the church were being ignored, while others claimed that traditions were being challenged too aggressively. Bishop Wooden, as the spiritual and administrative head, was caught in the middle, balancing doctrinal responsibilities with the expectations of a growing, diverse congregation. Financial oversight has been another point of contention. Sources indicate that there were debates over how funds were allocated for outreach programs, community projects, and even staff salaries. While there is no evidence of misconduct, the disagreements created divisions among members who felt strongly about transparency and proper stewardship. The frustration stemming from these internal disputes may have added pressure on Bishop Wooden, potentially influencing the way he confronted members publicly. Another source of tension involved attendance and participation. Reports suggest that some congregants consistently failed to engage meaningfully with church activities. This wasn't limited to Sunday services. It extended to volunteer programs, youth initiatives, and community outreach projects. Bishop Wooden, a leader who emphasizes accountability, reportedly tried multiple approaches to address absenteeism quietly. Letters, personal calls, and mentorship programs were all put in place. But when those efforts appeared to fail, the frustration boiled over, culminating in the viral confrontation. But the most surprising revelations concern personal dynamics within the church leadership. Insider accounts hint at clashes between Bishop Wooden and a few high-ranking staff members over decision-making authority. Some claim these disagreements were over strategy, how the church should grow, who should lead programs, and even how discipline should be administered. Others suggest that personal rivalries may have intensified the situation, adding an emotional layer to what appeared on the surface to be a straightforward call-out. What makes the story even more compelling is how these tensions connect to the viral moment. The public confrontation wasn't just about one absentee congregant, it symbolized the culmination of ongoing disputes and unresolved conflicts. In many ways, Bishop Wooden's words reflected not just his frustration with a single person, but a broader struggle to maintain authority, unity, and integrity within his church. And here's the cliffhanger that has everyone talking. Some insiders believe this incident could trigger lasting changes in leadership structure and church policy. Could this viral confrontation be the spark that ignites deeper reforms, or even resignations? The answer is still unfolding, but it's clear that this is far more than a simple sermon gone wrong. In the next section, we'll explore how Bishop Wooden and the church are responding now, including public statements, private reconciliations, and the potential impact on the congregation's future. After the video went viral, the church and Bishop Wooden faced a storm of attention from supporters, critics, and the media. Inside the congregation, the reaction was mixed. Some members expressed shock, feeling embarrassed or concerned about how the confrontation played out publicly. Others stood firmly behind the bishop, praising his courage to speak openly about accountability and attendance issues. Bishop Wooden himself reportedly addressed the situation in follow-up sermons and private meetings. Sources say he acknowledged the intensity of the moment, explaining that his words were meant to encourage spiritual growth, not to shame anyone personally. In these statements, he emphasized the importance of engagement, responsibility, and commitment to the community. Yet, even with these clarifications, the public debate continued to intensify online. Social media didn't just react, it analyzed every detail. Videos, GIFs, and reaction posts flooded platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, with millions of views combined. Analysts noted that moments like this are shareable content gold because they combine authority figures, real emotion, and controversy, all ingredients for high engagement. Many users were drawn to the authenticity of Bishop Wooden's emotions, while others critiqued the method, questioning whether calling out someone publicly was ever appropriate in a spiritual setting. Meanwhile, news outlets covering faith communities began to pick up the story. Interviews with church members revealed a spectrum of perspectives, from those who feared a potential fallout in attendance to others who claimed this confrontation was a wake-up call for the congregation. Even clergy from other churches chimed in, debating leadership styles and how far spiritual leaders can go in holding members accountable. But the ripple effects didn't stop there. Some insiders suggest that this viral moment has sparked conversations among church leaders nationwide about accountability, leadership methods, and transparency. What started as a single confrontation has grown into a case study in leadership, crisis management, and the power of social media in faith communities. The tension also reached personal levels. Reports indicate that Bishop Wooden may have had private discussions with the member he called out, aiming to repair any personal strain caused by the public words. Some believe this could mark a turning point in their relationship, demonstrating that even after a public confrontation, reconciliation and understanding are possible. And yet there's an unanswered question lingering over everything. Will this incident have long-term consequences for Bishop Wooden's leadership? Will the church experience reforms, resignations, or shifts in policy as a result? Or will this viral moment simply fade as another online controversy, leaving the church to move forward as usual? One thing is certain, the story isn't over. Social media continues to buzz, insider information keeps emerging, and members of the congregation are watching closely. In the final section, we'll wrap up what this moment truly means, highlight the lessons that can be learned, and reveal what viewers should take away from this unprecedented church confrontation. So, what can we take away from Bishop Wooden's shocking outburst? First, it's a reminder that even respected leaders are human. Behind the pulpit, there are emotions, pressures, and responsibilities that the public rarely sees. Bishop Wooden's moment of confrontation was not just a viral clip, it was a window into the complex reality of leading a large congregation, balancing spiritual guidance, accountability, and personal conviction. Second, this incident highlights the power of social media in shaping narratives. A single moment, captured and shared, can ignite debates across the world. It shows how quickly opinions form, how stories can be amplified, and how digital platforms turn private church matters into public discussions. For church leaders, this is a lesson in visibility, communication, and the unexpected consequences of viral moments. Third, the story reminds us of the importance of accountability, both for congregants and leaders alike. Attendance, participation, and engagement are not just numbers on a sheet. They reflect commitment, responsibility, and community. Bishop Wooden's words, while controversial, sparked conversations that many believe were necessary. They forced reflection on personal involvement, leadership responsibility, and the sometimes uncomfortable truth of spiritual growth. Finally, the aftermath continues to unfold. Will this confrontation lead to structural changes within the church? Could it influence leadership approaches in congregations nationwide? Or will it serve as a cautionary tale about the fine line between honesty and public shaming? Only time will tell, but the story is far from over. Now, we want to hear from you. What do you think about Bishop Wooden's confrontation? Was he justified or did he cross a line? Comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to like this video if you found this breakdown insightful. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future updates as this story develops. Remember, sometimes controversy isn't just drama. It's a reflection of the deeper truths that challenge communities, leaders, and individuals alike. Bishop Wooden's moment may have shocked the world, but it also opened a conversation that could change the way we look at accountability, leadership, and faith. Stay tuned, because the next chapter of this story is just beginning.